After watching this video, you'll know exactly how to build a feature in Bubble that allows someone to create an account for another user. Now, why would you ever need to do this? Well, if you're building an application that hosts teams of users, it's the perfect way for someone to invite another team member into a shared workspace, as it not only sends a user an invite to notify them about your application, but it also handles the process of actually signing that user up into your database. So it saves the receiving person a whole lot of time throughout the process.
Thank you!
Now look, this is a relatively straightforward process. So I'm going to hand this one over to James, and he's going to walk you through the exact steps you need to follow in order to bring this feature to life.
Hey everyone, my name is James, and in this tutorial we're going to look at how to create an account on behalf of someone else. So there are a few reasons why you might want to do this, but a really clear example is, say you have an application that you use in your company. A new team member has joined the company, or has moved internally as part of your team, and you want to be able to add that person to your application in order that they can fulfill whatever work requirements they need to do. So how do we do this? Fortunately, it's very simple, and I'm going to run through the process now. So I have my editor page open, and I have a bit of a dashboard here for my users, and I have a little form here which I'm going to populate with the email address of the new user and also the name. So let's just see how that looks at the moment in preview mode. So here it is. So I've actually got, just in terms of the user experience, I've got it set up so there's a button here, I can press add user, there's a hidden group which then becomes visible when I click that, and the form is there for me to fill in to add a new user. So what's going on in the background? Let's click this add user button, start edit workflow, and I got a blank workflow here for this button. So click to add an action, and in the account selection there's a menu here, and you'll see an option for create an account for someone else. Let's click that. So the one thing you definitely need when you are creating an account for someone is the email address. Anything else is sort of a bonus that you can add. So remember, we had an input field for email, and we got another one for the user's name. So let's get the email address from that input. So input new user email, that value. I'm going to tick this box here. What this will do, if that email address is already in my database, it will basically stop the database from adding it. It's saying, it's going to return it because the user already exists. So I'm going to tick that. I'm going to change another field as well. And so we're going to change the name of this new user to the input new user's name value. Okay, so that is really how simple it is. If I run the workflow now, I will have created an account. But how are they going to get in? Now we want some security in place, so we want a password for the person when they log in. So let's do another click here to add action. And there are a couple of ways of doing this, but I'm going to do what I consider to be the simplest option. And we are going to send password reset email. Now why would I do that? First, it's very simple. Second, it's very secure. You can also assign a temporary password, but this way it forces a user, as soon as they have their first interaction with their account, they're forced to change their password. So you can determine in the background as well in terms of password policy and different things, but it's just a way of making sure that from the get-go that user has a password that isn't written down anywhere, and you hope that they do not write it down. But so in Bubble, when you look at the pages that are available, you'll see in every application reset_PW, and you'll see that there's no bin, as we would say in Britain, or no trash can. So I cannot delete that page, and that's because there's a defined workflow within the Bubble environment, so that when you send a password reset email, it will always go to this page. So let's select that option, send password reset email. And so the email of the password we're going to reset is the one that we created in step 1, so the new user we set up. So as a result of step 1, so that new user you created, grab their email. Let's change the subject because, of course, they might be confused, thinking, well, I wasn't aware that I was set up. So let's say new account creation, and here's the body of the email. We can make this dynamic, so we can say hi, and remember we grabbed the name in step 1. So as a result of step 1, the user we created, let's put in their name. So hi, whoever we add. Let's just change this text. Welcome to the team. You have been added to this application. Please click on the link below to generate your own password. Now this has been signed off by the team. Again, we can make this dynamic. So thanks, and let's put in my name now. So whoever the person is who's adding the user. So insert dynamic data is going to be the current user, and it's going to be the current user's name. That's the workflow. So let's see that in operation. Actually, just one more thing. Remember I said that the group was invisible, and we click that add user button to get that. Let's just make this now hide when that user's been created. So element actions, hide, I think it's called group add user, and also just reset the inputs. So let's refresh. Let's add the user. So press add user. I'm going to put in the name, the email address. Let's say Bob Smith. Okay, let's add user. So this is going to create a user. It's going to send an email to that address for them to change the password, and hopefully this group is going to disappear. So add user. Great. So I can see in the repeating group below that this new user has appeared. Let me log in to my test email account, and hopefully when I log in there'll be a nice email for me. There we go, new account creation. So hi Bob Smith, welcome to the team. You've been added to this application. Please click on the link below. So let's click on the link here in order to get in. And so yeah, like I said, the reset password page is there in every application, but you have full control over how it looks. And so it's asking me for a password. So let's put a new password in. It's asking me for a confirmatory password entry. In we go. And that's how easy it is. So it's easy to do, and it's very secure in terms of protecting access to your application. Of course, when you can set rules around passwords and everything, but just in terms of how to add a new user on behalf of someone else, that's how easy it is. So thanks for watching. Hope you found it helpful. If you've got any questions or comments, stick them in the comments below, and I'll take a look and respond. So thank you.
And just like that, you can see how easy it is to create this feature using Bubble's no-code platform. Of course, throughout the process, if you really wanted, you could customize things like the email you're sending to another team member. But based on the steps that James has walked you through, everything is going to be completely functional. If you wanted to stay up to date with any additional Bubble resources, I'd recommend hitting the subscribe button on my channel, so that way you're the first to know when I release any new tutorials. Until then though, I just want to say a massive thank you for taking the time to watch this tutorial, and I wish you all of the best on your own no-code journey.